TitleMatchNetwork.com.
When I was a heel, I worked with Bret.
Right.
At King of the Ring.
Did you like working with Bret?
Yeah, he was great.
A lot of people say he was hard to work with and he didn't really give back much. Or...
I don't know. God, I mean, I think if you if you respected him and didn't treat him as a little guy, I mean, I let him backbreaker me, and I think he always had this perception that he was the Hitman. He was Bret Hart. I mean, he really was a character-driven guy, and if you played to that character, like if you deem that character worthy and strong, and he made sure that because he was going to beat you 9 times out of 10. So I mean, the stronger he made his opponent, the better it looked for Bret. But God, I loved working with Bret.
Some say Bret is overrated, and others completely disagree. What do you think?
I don't think he's overrated.
Okay.
I think of my top 3 matches I ever had in my life, he's one of them.
Right.
There's the one that I lost the belt to him in at the USA Arena. I think it was what was that? Some Survivor Series. I don't know what that was.
I don't even remember.
Yeah, but I got to turn heel. I got to turn heel out of that one, back heel.
Did you like the actual babyface turn, or did you think you had more money left as a heel with Shawn?
I wouldn't have minded it because I got over kind of being like a dark and dirty, And then as soon as I turned babyface, Vince had me singing with a Santa hat on to the employees, and that's how we opened the next Raw. And it was just like, But I've always said that Vince will take the edge off if he can, because Vince still believes in his heart that people want to see a guy carrying the American flag.
Right.
That red, white, and blue, that patriotism, that all-American. He still thinks, no matter how many times the anti-hero will surface
right.
and prove him wrong, I think in his heart. And I don't know if he actually thinks that or just wants it to happen. He still wants that to happen. He still wants it to be the... I don't think it's going to happen.
I'm going to ask you all about that coming up. What do you remember about the night at King of the Ring when Hogan wouldn't put Bret over?
It was like the first time I really witnessed like that whole, that sabada that era of guys did. It was just, that doesn't work for me, brother. Doesn't work for me, brother. But I mean, at that point, we knew the rumor was he was leaving, and he wouldn't do business, which was hurting our business.
Right.
So I mean, it was he wasn't a very beloved guy in that locker room. Hogan wasn't, and Bret was our guy, and Bret was staying. So our alliance was to Bret, but it was bogus, It definitely hurt business.
Is it true that you came into the offices one night and found out as champion that you weren't making as much as Taker and Bret?
Oh, I might have. Where'd you get that story from?
I forgot. I really did forget.
Yeah, that was. I had access to the office.
What was your reaction? Did you speak up about it?
Or? Never. Knowledge is power.
Right.
Why would I play it? It's just like I had a Royal Straight flush in my hand. I just waited, and then lo and behold, I wrote down payments like every night I would find out what the house was. It was $75,000-$80,000. Then I'd write what I got paid when my check came for the breakdown, and I'd cross-reference it. I mean, it wasn't stupid,
right?
And all of a sudden, like payments just started and. So I said, well, what's the other? And this is back when, the thing about the clique was how we had, the power with Vince was always that he could always play the boys against each other. And we were the first group of guys that got our SummerSlam check and went, what'd you get? What? You fucking got 25 grand, you weren't even in the match. I got 15.
All right. Like Paul Ellering was getting more than half the boys.
Yeah, so that was the whole thing. It was just like, so once you know that, once again, knowledge is power. So then it's just like you call JJ and, hold on, I'll get Vince. And Vince, I wasn't aware of that. Oh, yeah, you didn't sign off on it. You were so stupid. Well, gee, could you look into it? Maybe give me some more money? So, and they were doing that a lot. And then all of a sudden, you know, we get phone calls and, hey, want to go to WCW? Guaranteed money, $750. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Do you think that Bret Hart felt threatened at the time watching you guys?
Nah, because I mean, Brett. Even when they put the strap on me, my first match was the Royal Rumble after I became champion, and I wrestled Brett, and you know it was a tie. You know, we went to a draw there, so it wasn't like, you know. I mean, that's the whole thing to me. It's just like, could you imagine giving a guy the strap now, and then his first title defense is a draw?
All right, that would be really bad for business.
Right, and that's what they did to me.
Right.
You know, and so it's just like, gee, thanks for the nod that they're, yeah, you're our guy, we're going with you. We're going to put you're the champion for the new generation, but we're really not going with you. You
right.
know, we're not sold on you. And gee, the office isn't sold on you. Should the fans be? You know, I look at it and I say, man, my entire life has always been that kind of a situation where it's never just a, you know, I'd win the lotto and get hit by a truck the next morning.
Right.
So I just look at it as I've been very fortunate.
Oh, getting back to Bret. So, did you feel that he was threatened by watching you guys, or not really? Okay.
No, I mean, you know, Bret's thing was he had so much tenure with the company.
Right.
You know, I mean, he'd been there for so long.
Did you have a lot of pressure on yourself when you were the champion? Did you feel the pressure?
You know, I mean, you do what you can do.
Right.
I mean, you're smart enough in business by then to go, okay, you know, it's not my ideas. I'm doing the best I can do. I'm working my ass off every night. You know.
What are your memories of the very first WrestleMania that you worked?
I was with that great ladder match.
Right.
I was only out there for a couple of minutes. It was great. You know, it's like running back a punt in the Super Bowl, I guess. Yeah, it wasn't like having a match, but he was still in the game.
Were you surprised when Bret showed up?
No.
Okay.
No. We had a favored nations. We were so glad he asked for $3 million. We were making 1.3. We had a favored nations in our contract. We were like, sure, bring Bret in.
So you got, yeah.
We'll take more money.
People said that you and Scott tried to play politics with him behind the scenes and tried to hold him back. Is that true at all? Or
no, I didn't even work with him. I don't think I did one angle with Bret. But I think Bret was with me for a while. We redid the NWO and Bret was in it.
Right, I do remember that. Going back to Bret real quick, did he change at all in WCW as far as like you know, what he once was? And do you think that
I think that what happened to him in New York changed Bret. It had nothing to do with WCW. I think that Bret was so loyal for so long, and when they screwed him, I just think that it broke his heart.
Right. Do you think WCW misused him at all?
Absolutely.
Okay. What would you have done differently with Bret?
I put the belt on him. I'd have a run.
Mm-hmm.
There was a heel factory. He could have went through me, Scott, Hogan. There could have been so many guys that he worked. You know, he would have been. I wasn't booking.
TitleMatchNetwork.com